Hello boxing fans, welcome back to Andy's Cavern. Hope you're all well out there, again, after the witching hour. The only time I've got. Just managed to catch a couple of fights tonight. It's Conor Walker versus Lewis Ritson and Sonny Edwards versus what's his name? Galal Yafai. So the Walker Ritson fight was a decent fight, but fairly one-sided. Ritson was just kind of hanging in there for me, but he came alive a bit more in the last round. But it was a fairly one-sided affair. But it was back and forth action a bit, but nothing. There was a fight on before it. I didn't catch who it was. I was just coming in and out. I never actually seen it, but it looked more lively. I think it ended up as a split decision. I can't remember the names. I should have done my research, but I've been too busy. So what can you do? I thought I need to make some content, so switch the camera on and start talking. But Sonny Edwards. He looked like he didn't have the legs, did he? And from what I can gather, he looked like he didn't want to be in there. I thought he was saying to his cornerman after the second round, which was a bit of a sad sight. It's a dangerous place to be if your heart's not in it. You don't want to be there. But fair play to Yafai. He did what he had to do, and he was. Being an Olympic gold medalist, he's got a good pedigree, isn't he? So he did what he had to do. There's a lot of respect at the end. I know Sonny Edwards is quite notorious for doing a bit of jive talking on social media, you might say. But there was loads of respect between them at the end, which was good to see. Yeah, so that was that. Tonight, haven't really seen much else going on. What else has been happening? The Gad, what's he on? He's just slithering about. Of course, Froch, Carol the Cobra Froch, was Froch on Fighting Channel. He put it on the Gad, didn't he? Through the week. And I saw the Gad and Adam Carroll earlier on. Must be kind of responding on Talk Sport. Can't wait for Froch's response to that video. That'll be good, and it'll probably be quite soon. Knowing him, he's no longer firing back at these lickers, you might say. He's calling Froch a troll. Froch ain't no troll. He's just he's a truth teller, isn't he? Like what we try to do here and what Porky does in Porky's Corner, which I was on. I think I've done 6 videos with us this past week. I think they're coming out tomorrow. They've been on members area for a week, but he said he's got videos saved up. He's got 20 videos coming out, so he's got a Porky tsunami of boxing videos coming out. So have a look at them, see what you think. Like and subscribe to his channel, and like and subscribe here if you want to. If you like what we're doing, try and grow the channel a bit, as I keep saying. So yeah, we'll see what happens when the Cobra responds to the Gad. The Gad is he is a fanboy. He's just hanging out the back of anybody and everybody. He's like I don't know, what would you say? He's like a media leech, hanging on to folk, sucking off them, sucking the blood out of them, or trying to get a story. Grateful for the access he gets and all this. It's like cringe fest. Ask the proper questions. You've got the access, ask the questions, or they're scared he's going to lose the access. How can he look in the mirror? I don't know. And in all honesty, and think he's doing a good job. The thing is, he talks eloquently enough, and he might be a nice enough guy, but he's not doing what he should be doing, is he? Get what I mean? It's like, what is he doing? Maybe you've got your own views. Feel free to put them in the comments, but what you think. Maybe disagree with me. You might agree with me. I don't know. You don't have to agree with me. I'm only giving my opinion. Opinions are like backsides. Everybody's got one. So feel free to put your opinion in the comment section. So Conor Ben's apparently free to box, they're saying. So that's still a stain on boxing, that. He's failed drug tests at some point. It's dragged on for 2 years. They're saying he's not been banned. Well, he seems to have been suspended in this country for the past couple of years. So suspension, ban, much the same thing. You're not allowed to box if you're under either, are you? So it's like the Board of Control or UCAD maybe don't have the money to challenge it. But personally, I think government should be putting up money. If that is the case, that they can't afford, whoever's got the most money wins, and Ben and Matchroom have got more money behind them than UCAD and the Boxing Board of No Control, because it's making them look weak, isn't it? I agree with Simon Jordan on that. He's been quite vocal on it. Yeah, I personally think the government should be funding UCAD and the Boxing Board of Control. It shouldn't be a case that if they're running out of money, people are getting away with things, should it? I think that's wrong. So we'll see what happens going forward. I think Dillian White's fighting in Gibraltar. There's another mystery about him. I mean, what happened there as well was, I don't think I've ever heard the full story with that. What happened? I did hear something about contamination, but I don't know what is. If that's the case, what's going on in the labs? All these labs, has everybody got contamination in labs or whatever? I don't know. It's all about. And all these guys seem to be, like Mike Tyson was, licensed by the Texas Commission. So what's going on there? If they're going to license, they want to hang their heads in shame if they're licensing a 59-year-old guy to fight a guy 31 years his junior. That's just wrong. Just lucky Tyson never got seriously injured there. If somebody wasn't as being as compassionate as Jake Paul, they could have bludgeoned him. And what good's that doing anybody? That's bad for the sport, bad for boxing. Just a disgrace, isn't it? It's just a disgrace. There's no need for it. We want boxing to improve and be one of the best sports, but that's disappointing. So who's he going to fight? Is he going to take the Eubank fight? I think if they're going to fight, they'll have to fight next, I would think, because there's a chance Eubank could get beat in his next fight, and Ben could get beat in his next fight, so they'd be better fighting now. Eubank's at the end of his career, I would say. He's still calling himself next gen, but a 35-year-old, no, he's needing to. His career's been stagnated too much, isn't it? Stop, start, no momentum, too many periods of inactivity, which is probably the worst thing a boxer can have, is periods of inactivity. So, I don't know, they need to get it on. They're talking about February, aren't they? So, if they're going to do it, just do it and get out of the way. I think they're talking 2 fights, but why is that? I always never mind who wins a fight, be impartial, as long as it's a good fair fight with a fair result, as I always say. But I'd like to see Eubank batter Ben. I don't want to see anybody getting injured, but I like to see him beat him in the style that Dubois beat Joshua and humiliate him, because I don't like his attitude, but he's probably just playing the bad guy. But he comes across as entitled and poor little me and all that nonsense. Not interested in that. It's people a lot worse off than him aren't complaining in life. So, nah, get him out of the sport. If he is a drug cheat like everybody suspects, alleged drug cheat, but there's no clarity. Unless is all this story going to come out properly like that? However many page dossier and all this nonsense. What happened to the mystery doctor, Dr. Usman, who I believe is bragging about about anybody getting caught using performance enhancing drugs is stupid because it's easy to get by it, and he was basically advertising that he could get people away with it, and then suddenly he's working with Conor Ben, and after all the hoo-ha suddenly disappears. So the whole thing stinks, doesn't it? So we'll maybe get the whole story eventually, but I doubt it. And Eddie Hearn's batting the ball into the long grass anytime somebody asks him about it, innit? So I don't know. I just think it leaves a stain on boxing, but if he's okay to fight now, well, we'll see what happens. But he's not won anything. He's not beat anybody any significance. He's beaten a couple of folk that are way past their sell-by date, and there was question marks over their wins after all what's happened. So he's always going to be knocking everybody out. We never knocked any of the last two guys out. They weren't exactly setting the heather alight with it. So we'll wait and see. It's all talk. It's a lot of hype about him, so we'll see what happens. And then it's 3 weeks' time. We've got the big one, Usyk versus Fury. So see what happens there. I keep seeing pictures of Fury posing tensed up all the time, but I think we saw that the last time as well. But I don't see many other fighters putting that on their social media all the time. All these look at me, look how strong I am. So what's that all about? Is it an attempt at mind games against Usyk? Because that's a waste of time. You ain't beating Usyk with no mind games. He is mentally stronger than anybody, isn't he? He's a machine, as Big John Fury might say. A real machine. And I actually saw a photo of Lennox Lewis standing next to Usyk there last week. And there wasn't that big a size difference between them. There's only I think Usyk must be 6. Well, I think he's 6'3", but he didn't look much smaller than Lewis. I think Lewis was always billed as 6'5.5". So I've seen people on comment sections asking how Usyk would get on with Lewis, but I personally think Usyk would give Lewis a lot more trouble than people think. Lewis fought a guy one time, I think he was a European heavyweight champion, a guy called Zeljovic Maverick. Zeljovic Maverick. I think he was Croatian or something, but I think he was probably somewhere in the region of 15.5 stone, and he was about 6'3". So he's probably a similar weight to Usyk, but he took Lewis a distance and gave Lewis a hard fight. And Lewis showed him a lot of respect after that. So anyone that thinks that Lewis would just annihilate Usyk's never been dropped, to my knowledge. I don't know about amateur, but definitely in the pro ranks he's never been dropped. And he's fought all the top guys. I think he's beat 8 world champions. Or he's won 8. Yeah, he's beat 8 world champions. So as far as I'm aware, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not always right. So Usyk's top notch. I think he could have done very well in any era of boxing. I mean, if you took him back to the 1970s, he'd be as big as George Foreman. I think we talked about this with Russ the other night on Porky's Corner. We had a discussion about this. So I really rate Usyk. I think I just don't see Fury beating him. You can't write Fury off altogether. I'd still give him maybe I've maybe got it 65 Usyk, 35 Fury, percentage wise. I don't think that was a split decision the last fight. Promoters and Fury's team will hang on to that, thinking and making it look closer than it was. Usyk's up against it with he's done everything on the road, hasn't he? And he's up against it. It's like the Joshua Usyk second fight. That was never a split decision either. It's like they're trying to do him on the cards, or trying to create a narrative it was a closer fight. No, I don't buy that. I don't buy that at all. I think this time Usyk will win more decisively. If Fury's going to come out and put it on him, I feel Usyk will walk him onto something. He'll probably get hurt earlier in the fight than he did the last time, and who knows, Usyk will maybe get the stoppage this time, maybe 9 rounds perhaps. That's just the feeling I've got. You don't have to believe me, that's just my inclination. I'm only a fan. Man in a shed watching boxing. But feel free to put in the comments what you guys think. Let's see what happens. It is an intriguing fight, but I don't want to see a trilogy. If Usyk wins this time, I'd like to see him ride off into the sunset and retire. But will he do that? I don't know if he will. He seems to like fighting, likes the training, and I don't know if he likes the training. His training is absolutely brutal, but he does like to compete. He's a competitor, isn't he? And if Fury loses, I think he'll probably fight Joshua. That fight should have happened years ago as well. It's like Joshua versus Wilder should have happened years ago. It's like, I don't believe Derek Chisora should still be fighting, but he's 40. One thing about Chisora, he's fought anybody, isn't he? He's fought anybody and everybody. He'll take on all comers, but I think he should have been retired a few years ago now. But if he's passing medicals and people are still wanting to see him fight, and people are buying tickets to see him fight, and he's getting sanctioned to fight, there's nothing I can do about it. I've just got to talk about it. But I'll be quite clear that I don't think he should be fighting anymore. I don't want to see anybody getting injured. End of the day, you can't undo brain damage once it happens. So yeah, let's hope these guys don't get injured. But we're looking forward to some good heavyweight fights coming up. And I think I spoke about it. I'll probably speak about it again. There's a stacked card for the Saudi. I think it's the 22nd of February. Dubois. I think it's Dubois Parker's the headline. So yeah, there's a lot of good fights coming up. Okie dokie. Hope you're all well out there. Just a wee video for the night. As usual, very late at night. And we'll try and get more content out very soon. Try and do some different stuff. So hope you're all well out there. Until the next time, take care guys. All the best. Cheers.